Hey, what's up, Brian? This is finally a demo for you for your custom Jaina solo hilt. Install with a Proffie. I did do a metal chassis for this. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But first off, the Saber. You had sent me a few reference photos, and then I machined this guy for you. So hopefully you like the way that this came out. I kind of picked some of the things off of one photo, some of the other things off another, and then came up with my own thing. But this is the Jaina Solo that I machined for you. This is a control box from One Replicas on Etsy. I liked it because it's a low profile. It had the same type of pattern on the actual clamp card that the Jaina Solo pictures had. I did take a little bit of length off of this just so that it would match this piece right here that it goes on. You can't take too much off of this though because of where the tactile switches sit inside. So the front here will be your power, the back will be your auxiliary. All right, you've got a Carl Chen V4 Neopixel connector right here. And then you've got this Covertech wheel that you asked me for. This was what was holding up the demo. I bought this from Brent over at Great Lakes Saber Company. It just came in, I think it was yesterday, so I added it this morning. So you've got your Covertech on there. This pommel is from TCSS, so I'll show you that here in a second as well. And then to get to the chassis, you just want to unscrew the handle. So it unscrews right here. I did go through and I powder coated all of the cutouts that I did here, all the inlay rings as you can see, and then part of the pommel as well to try to match the reference photos that you gave me. All right. You had asked me to do a metal chassis, which was really cool to do. This was the first commission like this that I've taken. Hopefully I get some more in the future so I can kind of hone that skill because this was really fun to do. It was just very labor intensive. So this is what I came up with. This is all mine. We got this crystal chamber right here. You've got your real quartz crystal right here. You do have a spinning steel piece right here, and then I'll show you that here in a second. Just some different kind of ribs here that I did for the accents on the crystal. This has two brass tubes on the inside that are running down for wires, so you don't see any wires there. You've got your Proffie board right here. Of course, this board cover, but you have access to your kill switch without taking the board cover off, right? If I can focus on that. If I wanted to come over here and flip that switch from here, distraction, I could do that. I'll flip it back off for now. All right. You can take this off if you like at any time. It's just on here with magnets. And I'll show you that here in a second. Just flip it off carefully over my desk so I don't drop it. But when you take it off there, you can see those 6 magnets that are holding it on. So 3 up here, 3 down there. I was going to put a magnet over here right behind the board, but it did not need it. So I just went ahead and I left that off. But you can see access to your kill switch, your SD card, and your micro USB from there. You can get to all that stuff there. The board is glued down to the shelf though. All right. But then when you want to put it on, this guy just snaps right back into place and it doesn't have any problem staying there. All right. When you flip it over on the sides, you've got a 9-pixel accent strip behind this brass accent. So what I did was I put that strip in there, wired it up to the board, and then I glued this accent in. It does not come out. Same thing with this guy over here, right? So we got a 9-pixel accent strip right here, and then this brass piece was glued in. Glued in these brass accent pieces that I made for the speaker area. So you've got one up here, and then you've got a separate one down here. This is running a 28mm Smogos Outpost Elite speaker. And then lastly, this has a removable battery. So this guy right here, this is your battery cover. We'll go ahead and take it off real quick. I'm going to do this off camera and over my desk because I just don't want to drop anything. You know, when you get it in person, nobody ever does stuff up here anyway. I'm just trying to show it off on camera. This is a tight fit. It's a pretty snug fit on there, but it will pop off. Now this looks like it's equal on both sides. It is not. So you'll need to pay attention to how you put that back on. All right. And it is just a press fit onto there. All right. But when you take that off, This is what your battery compartment looks like, and then you can just come over here and simply take your battery out. And still, I hit all the wires, so you're not going to see any, you'll focus in on that. You're not going to see any wiring in there. All right, so we'll put this battery back in. I'm going to leave the battery in and send it with the Saber. All right, spring side is always the negative side though, so when we put that in, we'll come over here, pay attention to this. So this is the wrong way. As you can, if you can see that, it's something you'll notice right away. This middle fin's not going to line up. So just flip it over, put it back in place. You'll notice that it almost goes in by itself, and then just press it in. It is a nice press fit down in there, and it doesn't come out without some coaxing. All right, so that's the chassis that I came up with for this Saber. We'll come over here and we'll flip this on. So you've got some LED action over here. Some more LED action over here, and of course your crystal is pulsing. All right, until we turn the Saber on. And you've got that rotating piece up above your crystal. These also act a little bit differently when the Saber's on. And then you have twist off. All right, so that's what the chassis looks like without the handle. Let's turn it off real quick and go over the handle. It threads on to the Saber, obviously, so you can see. You know, we took the time to put some threads here, which will thread into the handle here, obviously. Over here by your Covertech wheel, this is the custom Saber Shop pummel that you sent me. I don't quite have the tools that I need to do stuff like these bump outs like this. I don't have that yet. I plan on getting that next year, early next year sometime. But so you sent me this, and I made sure to thread my handle in the same fashion as this pummel, so now it just easily screws on. All right, you can see how easily that goes on. You probably never even have to take that off, but I wanted you to be able to see that. All right, so we'll come over here, we'll turn our Saber back on, put our handle on. It too threads very nicely on here. You shouldn't have any problems. Lock it all the way down and hit power. This is also, this is also the Jedi pummel cap that you sent with the pummel, so that's from TCSS also. I just made sure to put that on there. So your LEDs in there and lighting up. The Saber does sound very loud. Auxiliary. And twist off, right? Let's put a blade in this real quick. I did make this to hold a 7/8 inch blade. That's just my favorite type of blade. If I ever have the option for a blade, I'm going to go with a 7/8. All right. You got a single blade retention screw right here. Maybe we'll see it. There it is. All right. When this thing is put together, you could swing this around as hard as you want. It is a solid unit. Gotta do a flash on flash. We'll go to another one.
This is Mikal. I have found the exile.
So blaster bolts just tapping auxiliary, right? If you want blade lock up, hold auxiliary down and hit the Saber. Now it's right here, and as we go vertical, it comes down to here.
Jaina, Sword of Jedi.
I believe this is the Jaina one. So this was one that you sent me from Saber Font. It was a Genesis Custom Fonts font. It was made for CFX, but it still works on Proffie. Blade lock up.
My apprentice, Darth Bandon.
This was just to give you a little bit of something different on this. And if at any time you want to change the colors of anything, hold down auxiliary and hit power. You hear that noise, alright? And then you can just twist the saber to any color you like. For example, if we went with this yellow right here, right, and we hit power, we took the handle off. You've changed everything. So you've changed the crystal. You've changed your 2 accent LEDs over here in your chassis. Everything will match the blade. Alright. And that's how you do that. And it will remember the color that you changed. So it will always stay on that until you change it again. Put this handle back on real quick.
Speeder horn.
This is the speeder font from BK Sound Fonts that you sent me. All right. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take the blade out of this guy. Along with this saber, I also updated your Raxus sound fonts to the appropriate fonts that I thought went with the saber. You and I have done a lot of business together, and over that time, you've sent me various sound fonts. I save them in a separate folder and tend to put character-specific fonts on sabers, with the exception of 1 or 2 fonts on this guy. I think I just gave you for some flavor. Because when it comes to Jaina Solo, there isn't that much out there at all. All right. When it comes to something like the Raxus, where it's basically like a dark side saber, I mean, you've got Kyberphonics, Secret Apprentice. So you've got, you know, TFU1, TFU2, they're both on there. Crimson Lord is on there. You got the Metallic Jaw, so the Revan font, that's on there too. Of course, I left my font, apologize, on there. I didn't leave it on this saber because it didn't seem appropriate for the saber. So, anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. It didn't seem appropriate for the theme is what I was trying to say. But anyway, that is your Jaina Solo. I hope that you like the way it came out. This is something that I had so much fun building, from the saber itself to the chassis also. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get both of these actually out in the mail to you Monday. Thanks.